Guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening I bid to our beloved lecturer Encik Muhammad Azmi bin Adnan and also my fellow friends. So today we're going to proceed with our next topic in professional development, which is workplace ethics. So before we start, I'm going to introduce to you our presenters for today's presentation. My name is Zizi Azida binti Ameh. Will be your first presenters for today's presentation. For the second presenter, we have Nurul Afika binti Nur Azman. Our third presenters for today is Yop Nur Ismail bin Yop Ismail. And our last presenters for today's session is Marliana binti Mohammed. So today's presentation will consist of 6 subtopics where we will go on into detail later. So the first subtopic that we will discuss is about workplace ethic. The second subtopic is professional ethic, and we also will go into professional accountability, professional integrity, and issues in integrity and work ethics. And last but not least, we will see on how to handle unethical issues in workplace. So if you guys have any comment or question, you can just drop into the comment box down below, and also you can ask us during our live session tomorrow. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with our first subtopic for today, which is workplace ethics. Okay, so let us begin with our first subtopic, which is workplace ethics. So I believe some of you might have idea on what is workplace ethics, but maybe some of you still didn't know what is workplace ethics is all about. But don't worry, in the next slide, I will explain to you the definitions of workplace ethics. So let's us go into the next slide. We have two definitions. The first one is ethics and the second one is workplace ethics. So let us see what is ethics first. Okay, ethics is a collection of values and behaviors which people feel are moral. So in much more simple word, ethics is a morality that govern a person's behavior. Okay, it could be both, it could be good and it could be bad values and behaviors. Okay, let us see what is workplace ethics. Okay, workplace ethics is the collections of value and action that are appropriate for the workplace, followed by both the employer and the employee. So in much more simple word, work ethic is the ability of the person to maintain proper moral value within their workplace. Okay, it is an attitude that shape the way the individual perform their job or their duties in with high moral standards. Okay, I hope you guys get the idea what is workplace ethic. Okay, as we know, everyone has a responsibility for ethics in workplace. Okay, as the employee and employer, we have and we need to ensure that we are responsible for our behavior, and also support others by creating a positive ethical workplace environment. Okay, we need to know, we need to understand, and we need to comply the ethical at the workplace. Okay, and we need to beware about others behavior as well. Okay, if others if maybe our colleague do some illegal or unethical behavior, we need to overcome that. Okay, which we will cover also into this presentation later. So now let us see the types of work ethics. There's two types of workplace ethic. The first one is personal work ethic, and the second one is specific to work situation. So for the personal work ethics, it's involving ourselves, which is the punctuality, our seriousness in doing the work, and our respect to the job. So it's actually related to our personal behavior on how we govern ourselves toward the work. Okay, while for the specific to work situation, it's involving our attitude and our behavior toward the work itself. Okay, such as good in handling the client and prepared with the task. Okay, confidential information if you have the client, and then you need to keep the confidentiality of the client. So that was kinds of ethic that related to work situation. So we have both here, the personal and also the specific to work situation. So for the fifth work ethics performance standard, we have attitude. Okay, attitude as example, willingness to cooperate. Okay, we need to, these are one of the example of good attitude, which is we are willing to cooperate. It's just what I explained in the previous slide in the teamwork. So it's quite the same. And then self-confident. Okay, self-confident is also one of the good attitude needed in ourselves, because if we confident with ourselves, okay, indirectly people will also confident with us. Okay, this is very important. And basically attitude and characteristic is quite similar. Okay, usually if we have a good character, we will directly have a good attitude. Okay. Alright, so let's proceed to the next point, which is productivity. Okay, productivity or workplace productivity means the ability for us to do our work in a certain period of time. So in order for us to achieve that, we need to follow our work direction and procedure. Okay, and then notify proper authorities regarding problem arise. Okay, we need to be responsible. We need to notify the people or the authorities regarding any problem that may be arise in our department or maybe among our colleagues, so that the problem can be solved. Okay, and then for the seven work ethics performance standard, which is communication skill. This is very basic. I believe every one of us know. Okay, we need to communicate in accurate and courteous manners or professional. Okay, even though with our colleague, even though with among our friends, we need to be professional. We need to know our limit. Okay, while communicate with our colleague. Okay, it's even though our colleague maybe they much more younger or much more older, we need to be respectful and talk and speak with a proper manner. Then display appropriate non-verbal skills. Okay, and then next point, which is organization skill. Organization skill here means prioritize and manage time and stress effectively. We need to manage our time properly, and stress management is very important. We cannot bring all the burden or personal problem from home to work. Okay, we need to be professional. Okay, we need to prioritize on what is important, and we need to know what we need to left. Okay, time management technique. Okay, this is very important in order for us to be a very productive, a very good workers. We need to plan our work properly. Okay, the thing that we can do is timetable. Maybe we can do timetable to write down all our deadline and all that, so that we will punctual in submission and all. Okay, so this is very important because we work with many people. Okay, so if we make it easy for other people, okay, so the progress will run smoothly. So the next point is cooperation, which is willingness to assist others and also display leadership skills. And our last point is respect. Okay, we need to treat our staff and also our colleague with respect, so that the everyone will feel happy, and it will also uh, it will also provide or produce a positive workplace environment. So here are the 10 work ethics performance standards that we should have in ourselves. Now, I will explain about the importance of workplace ethics. So the first one is the workplace ethics can increase productivity. Alright, when the working staff and the workers value the work given to them, and they will do all the given work in time and achieve their target. Okay, as example, if the teachers was really committed with their work, they will produce a good outcome. Okay, maybe they will produce much more meaningful learning. So that's why the workplace ethics is very important. And then for the second one is achieve job satisfaction. Okay, when organization follow through in upholding ethical standard, they can create a workplace environment where individuals feel respected and heard and also satisfied in their role. So when this happen, everyone will happy and will happy with their role and will happy with their job. Okay, and then for the third one is increase job retention. Okay, job retention or employee retention mean that the ability for the company or the organization to keep their employee. Okay, as example, employee retention is usually presented in percentage. For example, an annual retention rate is 80%. Okay, and the organization are able to keep that 80% of their employer on that particular year, but lost 20% on the following years. So that was example of increased job retention. And if the workplace is very good, have a very good workplace ethic, so this will increase the job retention. Okay, and then the fourth one is trouble-free working environment. Okay, trouble-free working environment is where when everyone is knowing each other, okay, they will be more friendly, respectful, and the environment will be much more happening. Okay, and if that happen, there will be few chances for the trouble at the workplace to happen. Okay, and so that was the meaning of trouble-free working environment. And then we have enhanced industry reputation. Enhanced industry reputation means that when everything is managed and systematic, along with the understanding of the employee because of their strong ethics, okay, the organization itself will be success. Okay, when the employees was expert and with their respective field, okay, and then they put their all commitment towards that particular work, okay, the chances for the organization to be successful is higher. So that's why it will enhance the industry reputation. Is the example of good work ethics. So the first one is obeying companies' rules and regulations. Alright, policies and procedures are essential in any organization. So we need to understand, we need to comply with all the rule and regulation, and we need to avoid disobeying or disregarding them, because it will make our record worse, or even will lead us to being terminated from our job. So, and then for the second one, professional relationship, we need to have a professional relationship with our colleague, with our among our clients, and also our employers. Okay, and then the third one is be responsible. Okay, just what I have mentioned just now, being responsible in all the work uh, that we are responsible to do. Okay, be responsible toward the consequences of our work. Okay, that was example of good work ethics. And then the fourth one is be respectful. Okay, we need to respect our colleague even though they are juniors or our seniors. We need to be respectful. Example of bad work ethics. The first one is corrupt practice. Corruption can occur in any organization. We should avoid corruption at all costs because it can destroy our organization moral as well as our reputation. The second one is extended break. As example, we are extending our lunch hour. We should avoid that because that was unethical behavior. We need to obey with the allocated time given by our organization. Alright, the third one is taking credits of others' work. This was very bad behavior, and if we encounter with this kind of problem in future, we need to be firm and we need to stand on behalf of ourselves. The last but not least is violence. Violence could happen in any form, physically or verbally. We need to stop doing violence because it could destroy other people's life. They might feel scared to come to work, and they may worstly stop the work.
Hi, my name is Nurul Afika and I will be presenting the second topic, which is professional ethic. What is professional ethic? Professional ethic is a principle that governs, or also known as control, the behavior of personnel, institute, organization, or a corporate standard. Professional ethics usually apply to the person who are working in the profession that requires specialist knowledge and skill. Profession means a type of job that requires special training and work connected with medicine, law, and education. For instance, accountants, teachers, doctors, and politicians. Each profession has its own code of conduct. Let me give you one type of professional ethic that should be applied by accountant. Code of conduct is a guideline of appropriate behavior in the professional context. One example of professionalism is confidentiality. We know that accountants often have to access to the highly sensitive information about particular business or individual. Accountant must keep all the information with confidentiality and they are highly forbidden to share it inappropriately. Same goes to other professions. They also have their own professionalism to be applied during their working time. There are four types of professional ethic. The first one is meta-ethic. Meta-ethic is a great word means beyond. Meta-ethic is origin of ethical principle. It studies the nature of ethic. Main issue in debate of meta-ethic is usually about whether ethics are involved from spiritual element or it was created by human. Second is normative ethic. Normative ethic is a self-moral conduct. It concerning with how people should act with one another. It also evaluates the rightness or wrongness of action. The third one is descriptive ethic. Descriptive ethic is a moral belief. It refers to the behavior individual where people study about what person or society consider to the particular things, whether it is right or wrong. The last one is applied ethic. Applied ethic is designed or written to implement in a specific situation. It is an ethic with respect to the real world action. This ethic usually found in the area of profession, health, technology, and law. What are the difference between professional ethic and moral? Professional ethic is responsibilities toward customer, client, co-workers, employees, and employer. It is similar to respecting and understanding other people. Moral is a principle that we use to guide our action, and extended of society is used to decide what is wrong or right behavior. For instance, belief of someone that is wrong to take other things that is not belong to them, and things that are right or wrong are determined by ourselves. There are four importance of professional ethics: asset protection, great working environment, develop teamwork, and less legal issue. They are the benefit for particular company or organization. If the group of a person implement the professional ethic, even when no one is watching, it also will remind the reputation of the person and the company itself.
Okay, for the third subtopic is professional accountability. So in the next slide, I will explain more detail about this topic to you guys. Okay, what is professional accountability? So professional accountability is the willingness to practice in a sound and sustainable manner, maintain accountability for practices, and are held accountable for any deficiency in professional activity. So it means that we are being responsible for every decision that we have made, our action that have been taken, and also when the assignment have been completed, we will be responsible for all of that. Okay, next we go to sixth element of accountability. So the first element is checkup. Checkup or follow through on the goal or promises that have been made. So the checkup on progress will leading to adjustment. The next one is reliant. Reliant means that the achievement of goal and promises is often reliant or dependent on other. So we may not be able to complete the promises that we made for others if the other didn't complete their promise that they have made to us. So it's important to determine how to hold someone as accountable, what to do if other person fail to meet their promises, and also the longer we wait, the harder this element will be resolved. And the next one is ownership. Ownership, we mean that ownership by key people, mostly the one who responsible for the task that are given. So we need to know whether they have really accepted their ownership, whether they have enough authority or resources to meet the commitment that have been taken by them. And the next one, reward. Reward means that the individual need positive motivator on the front end. For example, like knowing and trusting of the reward should they be successful, and also they need timely reward on the back end when they are successful doing their tasks. And also the next one is penalty. Penalty will mean that the more like punishment if they didn't finish the task or didn't completed it successfully. So the next one is the last one is goal. So goal must be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. We will look into responsibility versus accountability. So in this slide, we will compare the difference between two of them, two of the point. Okay, first, responsibility in workplace, and the second point is for accountability in the workplace. Okay, the duty to complete tasks, not doing so is a failure of responsibility. While for accountability, the duty to give an account of the task after they are being completed. For responsibility, ongoing while final goal is being worked toward. While for accountability, it will happen after a certain situation, not a certain situation, but a situation that occur in the form of status update. For responsibility, it can be shared among a team. Many people can have the same task or different tasks that work toward the same goal. While for accountability, it should be assigned to just one person to avoid thinking someone else will be doing the job. So we'll have specific person for accountability, while for responsibility will be shared among a team. And for responsibility, it's specifically task focused, while for accountability, more specially for result focused. Responsibility cannot be assigned to someone. Each person must have their own responsibility on their own behavior. Well, for accountability is assigned to a person because that person will take responsible. They will help accountable for the result they have, the outcome of the certain task that will be given to them. So they also will receive potential consequence if they are not able to finish the task that have been given to them. Okay, the importance of accountability. First is able to accept responsibility to strive for excellence and also improve work. And next is gain respect toward leadership. And the next one, employee empowerment, incentive for achieving excellence, shine a light over hidden problem, and the last one is provide competitive edge. There is a 5 way to promote accountability. The first one is define what people are accountable for. The second is set the goal throughout the organization. The third one, provide update on the progress. Fourth one, align development, learning, and growth. And the last one is recognize and celebrate the progress. This is the last slide for this subtopic. As you can see, there is an accountability ladder. So it will show you where you stand in this ladder. So there will be two behavior. First is accountable behavior and the second one is victim behavior. Where for accountable behavior, you will feel that thing happen because of you. So you will try to make it happen, you try to find the solution, you try to own it, you try to acknowledge the reality. So for victim behavior, you feel like you will wait and hope, you make excuses, you blame others, and you sometimes will say you didn't know. So that's all for this subtopic.
Now, we will continue with our fourth subtopic in today's presentation, which is professional integrity. These are the definitions of integrity according to Wilde 2021. Integrity is the act of behaving in an ethical, moral, honest, and honorable way. Professional integrity is actually the practice of maintaining appropriate ethical behavior. The characteristics of a person with integrity. The first one is responsible. The person with integrity tend to be responsible toward themselves and also towards other people. And the person with integrity are usually being a reliable individual. The second one is honest. A person that uphold good morals within themselves and trustworthy. The third characteristic of a person with integrity is self-aware. The self-aware is the ability to see themselves clearly and objectively. So here are the three characteristics of a person with integrity. Why professional integrity is important? Professional integrity is important because it could promote decision making. A person with high professional integrity, they can or they have the ability to manage a certain task efficiently. The second one is positive culture. Professional integrity can create an optimistic environment in the workplace. The third one is reputation. Professional integrity can improve or increase the reputation and image of an organization. Here are the example of integrity in workplace. The first one is preparation or be prepared. It means that we need to prepare ourselves mentally and physically before coming to work. The second one is obey the working hours. As example, we need to show respect over the agreement and dutiful to work, such as coming punctually to work every day. The third one is be a role model. Set a good example and behavior in which people can follow. The last one is uphold confidentiality, which means the ability of us to keep the information of the company private as loyal employee or employer. So these are the things of integrity in workplace that we can follow in order for us to be a good workers. How to maintain professional integrity? The first thing that we can do is we can conduct self-evaluation for betterment, such as we can ask our colleague about our performance and detect our weaknesses from there and work for it. The second one is admit your faults and mistakes. Everyone made mistakes, so we need to be brave to admit it and also learn from it. The last one is put in great efforts in whatever you do. We need to be committed in our work, and from there it will improve our professional integrity.
Hello everyone, my name is Maliana binti Muhammad. Today I will be the last presenter for this topic. Allow me to continue the topic with issue in integrity and ethics. There are several issues in integrity and work ethics. Unethical leadership, toxic workplace culture, realistic and conflict goals, discrimination and harassment, questionable use of company technology. So, let's go through one by one what is issue in integrity and work ethics. The first issue that I will discuss is unethical leadership. What do you understand by this issue? Unethical leadership is referred to behavior conducted and decision made by organization leader that are illegal and violates moral standard and those that impose process and structure that promote unethical conduct by followers. It's more like manipulating numbers in report or spending company money on inappropriate activity. The second issue is toxic workplace culture. This issue is really often we hear. What is meant by toxic workplace culture? This workplace culture is one where the workplace is budget by fighting, drama, unhappy employee to the point that productivity and the well-being of the people in the office is affected. Next is unrealistic and conflict goals. What does it mean by unrealistic and conflict goals? It's being pressured to achieve unrealistic goals will definitely cause a negative impact on employees' work performance, whether it is a short-term or long-term consequences. The next issue is discrimination and harassment. This issue is very popular in ethics and one of the crucial issue. What do you know about discrimination? Discrimination is when a member of a protective class receive unfair treatment based on being member of the group. For example, discrimination based on gender, skin color, or background. Next is harassment. Harassment is a pattern of conduct or behavior towards an employee that can result in a discrimination charge. Discrimination comes in many forms such as non-verbal sexual harassment, physical or verbal. Last issue is a questionable use of company technology. What does it mean? It assesses misuse by employees whether they use it for personal or not. This directly hurting the company and their facilities are not used for work purpose. Obey the company rules and regulation. At the start of an employee contract, company may need the employee to sign various documents, including the company rules and regulation agreement form. Also, the employee may be given a handbook that may serve as a guide. Some common rules are tidiness, inappropriate dressing, and language. Due to excitement of getting a new job, some employees do not properly read these rules and may be end up deferring them in the future. Therefore, it is important that new employee properly read the rules and regulation in order not to defer them. Next is don't taking credit for other hard work. This is very common for manager to take credit for their team members' hard work when reporting to the management. A team members may have brought an idea that help a sales team improve their sales by 200%. However, when giving a report, the manager doesn't mention the team member's name but claim the idea as his. Employees need to reduce the use of I but embrace the use of we. By taking credit for another person's works, you will be denying the person a promotion bonus or commendation for a job well done. This will discourage the person from sharing ideas that will benefit the company in the future. Next is do not take action without evidence. Before you do anything, you need to make sure you know the fact. You might suspect something, but you can't go around accusing people of things without evidence. First of all, you need to check that the behavior you suspect is unethical. It might be against industry practice or perhaps company policy. Secondly, you need to know that the person is doing it. You should document their behavior and try to find witness to it as well. You will then have evidence you can bring to the person or authority you want to report it to.